The 2026 Junior League Softball World Series continues, and now we move to the knockout stage. It's time for the championship bracket play to begin. It begins with what could be a very intriguing one. The Europe-Africa region champions from Bohemia Little League out of Prague, Czechia, and the West region champions from Foothill Little League in Palo, Cedro, California. 10 teams got here to Kirkland, Washington. 8 have advanced to the championship bracket, which play begins here and now. Those are your 8, far left side of your screen. California 4-0 in its respective pool. Czechia had to beat the host squad from Washington to advance to this part of the tournament. We welcome you here inside field number 2 at Everest Park in Kirkland, Washington. Troy Clarity, the coach, Kirk Walker, and you. Thank you so much for being here with us. Kirk, both of these teams finding ways to play their best ball heading into this stage of the tournament, because from here on out, it's for keeps.
Well, absolutely. The West team has just been dominant in their pool and run right through and beating everybody, and that's been their path, obviously, to get here as the #1 seed. You know, Czechia, on the other hand, had to come up with a big win. Great game yesterday, actually, by the way, right here on this field, and back and forth in the late innings, and came out on top. So they got themselves in the bracket and looking to do some damage in the championship bracket.
Czechia played its best game of the tournament by far in its comeback win yesterday over Washington, but it will need to bring a whole other level against the West region champions from Palo, Cedro. In the circle for the West is Haley Mann. Mann coming off of a terrific performance against Canada a couple of days ago. 5 innings of shutout ball. Check that, gave up a run, it was earned. No walks and 5 strikeouts. Mann has held it down in the circle.
Haley Mann has been very consistent here, obviously, for this really talented team. They can hit, they can pitch, and they can play defense, but Haley's been a force for them in the circle and doing a great job.
She will be facing this batting order for Czechia as they go 1 through 13. Czechia has been able to score runs. They actually scored 15 on Puerto Rico back on Monday. So scoring runs hasn't necessarily been the problem. Pitching and defense have. They've been able to put both those things together, and they certainly got clutch hits down the stretch yesterday.
They certainly have. A few of their hitters actually have 5 hitters are in the top 20 in the tournament. So they definitely can score. We've seen some great swings and great offense, and if they can pitch a little bit better than they have, they might have a chance.
Look at the defensive lineup for Foothill Little League. Manager for Czechia is Miloš Brozek. He's a finance officer back in Prague, 47 years old.
Handling the purse strings as the manager.
Bohemia Little League from Prague. They had an intriguing road through the Europe-Africa region tournament, as they actually lost along the way after winning their first 2 games. They actually lost to Lombardia Little League out of Italy. But they got revenge on that squad in the championship game to come here to Kirk. Justin Haynes, meanwhile, is the manager of the Foothill Little League squad, 44 years old. He has played in 2 Junior League World Series himself back in the day.
Bringing a lot of experience and obviously done a great job of preparing this squad, who is really talented. They do things really well, disciplined on the base pass. They do a great job at the plate. So well experienced and bringing a lot of great talent.
Foothill Little League was here last year. They went 0-4 in pool play in 2025. Back in 26, 4-0. Looking like one of the teams to beat in Kirkland. Czechia has something to say about that as Haley Mann faces Rosaria Struskova. First pitch is low.
Strukova certainly hitting well right now, hitting about 400 in the tournament. Doing a great job in that leadoff spot.
Recovers. Kenyon turns and steps on the bag for the first out. Hope you enjoyed today's game, everyone.
Kenyon does a good job of staying with that. Obviously, hot off the corner and takes care of it. Gets that first out.
And Kenyon has been monster. Some big-time spots throughout the course of the week. More on that as the show goes along. Yela Vichdilova is the batter now. Had a big catch in center field yesterday against Washington. What a game that was. And that was a game between two teams coming in that had largely just massively struggled. But
it really was. It was one of the best games we've seen here. I think it was evenly matched. Yeah. And we saw a pitcher's duel early and then an offensive barrage on both sides, going back and forth in the last 3 innings.
Vichdilova with the single to get on board.
Well hit ball here, going opposite field. Tracks that ball a little deeper and stays inside, drives it, drops it in front of the right fielder there.
Brings up Alex Korbova.
Korbova hitting 500 in the tournament, 14th highest batting average ranked in the entire field.
She had an RBI triple, part of that comeback in the top of the 7th yesterday.
Swings it really well from that left side.
Czechia had to score 4 times in the top of the 7th inning after giving up 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Look at Alex's stats this week. It's softball. Of course, there are numbers along the way. On the way to second and sliding in safely.
Does a good job getting under the tag. Obviously, a little bit of a bobble there behind the plate. Takes advantage of that and now in scoring position for this dangerous hitter.
It's a good pitch with a little bit of movement, 2-2.
Really nice pitch. Little backdoor curve, broke back in over the strike zone. Low in the zone. Haley Mann doing a really good job of working both sides of the plate.
Popped up. This might land on us. Right
almost
behind us.
Our tree house here, protected by the tree.
No announcers were harmed during the making of this show. Count stays at 2-2 with Vichdilova at first.
Tough pitch.
Vichdilova is on the move, gets 60 more feet.
Gets away from Ruland. Advances another 60 feet. Now with only 1 out, several options here. Obviously, it can score on a sac fly or an infield single, or an infield out even, for that matter. Good discipline.
That results in a walk.
Kobova's done a good job here as a number 3 hitter, brings up dangerous number 4 hitter. We'll see how the West plays this first and third situation. We'll see if the defense tries to keep that runner at first base.
Mariana Doshtelova, batter. Runner heading to second, but cut off. It was Doshdelova's RBI double in the top of the 7th yesterday that gave Czechia the lead, as it turned out, for good.
West respecting the speed of the runner at third and cuts that off.
Defensive swing, fouls it off, no balls and 2 strikes.
Obviously not what Bruskova wants to have there. Obviously you want to be in an offensive mindset here. Obviously anything that she drives to the outfield is likely to score a run. Got 2 runners in scoring position. Better swing. He throws a nice pitch on the inside part of the plate. We've seen Haley working both sides of the plate.
Got her looking on the outside corner.
Great pitch. A little too close for batter to take, and with runners in scoring position, they'll now have to try and do it with 2 outs.
That's an easy ring up for home plate umpire Sam Fontecchio. Marketa Broshkova, the batter now. First pitch high and outside for ball 1. Marketa hit her first home run this season.
And she's having a great tournament, hitting 571, 7th best in the league. Ball, it might be trouble.
Headed to left and snared out there by Riley Haynes. Czechia with 2 on in scoring position, but neither come across. Czechia 0, California coming to bat. Czechia had second and third with 1 out, but was not able to score in the top half of the first. Bottom of the first is when the Foothill Little League squad out of Palo, Cedro, California gets its first chance to pick up a bat. We'll give you their lineup in just a second, but first we focus on the circle. Adela Dolejalova, who pitched quite well yesterday. 7 innings, 5 runs, just 1 of them earned, struck out 8 against Washington.
It was a great game for her yesterday. Obviously did a great job of staying strong and finishing it out. She's going to throw the fastball, the rise, the changeup. She's going to throw between 43 for the changeup and then as high as 52 miles an hour on the fastball.
It was nice of them to give us the metric equivalence of that
Absolutely.
as well. Here's the California batting order. They go 1 through 12. Watch out in the 3 spot. Kylie Kenyon, a couple of big home runs early in the week. Very, very dangerous at the plate and in the circle, too.
Kenyon's been an all-around athlete, but certainly we've seen some great offense from other hitters. Kate Berard, for example, hitting 500.
Trying to add to that here, and does.
Great leadoff again. We've seen Kate do this, lead off a game, swinging first pitch. She's an aggressive hitter and has great speed, so she'll be a threat on the base path here with nobody out.
First pitch swinging. Kate Berard coming out the gate.
Second baseman does a nice job of snagging that ball, but Berard too fast getting down the line.
And Berard is hitting the ground running into second safely.
A little bit of an errant throw. I don't think she would have had a chance even with a good throw. She had a great jump, sliding in safely. And now in scoring position with nobody out. You can see she gets a great jump. Throw is off to the side, but I think she's got that base stolen either way.
Riley Haynes fouls that one straight back. 0-2 the count on Riley.
Really love Riley's swing. Riley's got a great swing.
Yeah.
We've seen her all week really putting great contact on the ball.
Just inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Riley's favorite team, the Oregon Ducks. Hey, we're in Washington Huskies country right now. She might want to keep that under wraps a little bit.
Well, she's in that Northern California area that's pretty close to University of Oregon.
And Haynes puts this one into the outfield for a base hit. Berard scores easily. California strikes first.
Good piece of hitting there. Obviously driving that ball back up the middle. No real play at the plate. With Berard's speed, she scores easy and is going all the way on contact. See, drops that ball in no man's land, no woman's land.
Haynes with her 3rd RBI of the week. Brings up Kylie Kenyon, who has certainly been driving them in. Game-winning home run, top of the 7th against the Philippines on Sunday to open the tournament. Also homered, drove in 2 against Pennsylvania, the East Region champions. Those ended up being the only runs of the game. And oh, by the way, Kenyon threw a complete game shutout as well that day.
Doing it all. Her slugging average is 1.125, second in the tournament here. 2 home runs, as you said. Hitting .375, so a good average as well as bringing in the power. She's a threat for sure. One of the younger athletes on the team, but certainly offensively a powerful player.
High in the air to left, coming down to Rihova. Hangs on to it. One away.
Great focus. Left fielder does a nice job. That ball is well struck into the wind, which holds it up maybe a little bit, but it's not an easy catch. They are battling the sun too on that left side a little bit as well, so great focus. Big out.
Yep. Rihova hangs on all the way. Bree Songer swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Wind is blowing in from left, or at least it was a couple seconds ago. Now it's kind of swirling based on the flag that's above the scoreboard in left center. About 80 degrees as we started this one.
It's a beautiful day.
It is.
Songer's got the 6th best batting average in the tournament, hitting .600.
Bree says her special talent is making people laugh. Always appreciated. Inside, 2-1. Skies not quite as hazy and smoky as they've been today, as they have been for much of the week. We've had wildfire smoke emanating from the opposite end of the state. 2-1.
It's good discipline, good eye staying off that pitch.
Skies not as hazy, but this will probably be the warmest day of the week. Could get up towards 90 by the time it's all said and done. 3-1. It's ball 4.
That's why I think we both opted for shorts today.
Yes, indeed.
But we are sitting, I am going to say, probably in the best location of this entire complex.
I think so, too.
Spent some time over at Field 1. It's a little warm over there.
Nowhere to hide.
And we're sitting up in this treehouse with a great breeze coming off of Lake Washington.
Olivia Rowland, the batter. Rowland, one of the 3 players who is here in Kirkland with Foothill Little League. Olivia actually wore number 17 then. She wears number 14 this time around. Dolejalova in the circle. Soft tapper in the air, grabbed by Makovska. 2-gun.
Big second out there, obviously, keeping the runners at first and second. Czechia doing a good job of managing thus far.
Rowland, one of the 3 young ladies here last year. So is Haley Mann, who's at the plate now.
You certainly can't underestimate that experience factor. I think even though they struggled last year to get a win, those players that are returning, they bring a lot of experience, a lot more understanding.
Fly ball, right center. Skips off of Bichtilova's glove. That brings in a run.
Tough play there. Cedro takes advantage of that miscue. Runner on first gets all the way to third base, and runner on second comes around to score. So big RBIs there for the hitter, Haley Mann.
They scored a base hit. And Czechia had played by far its cleanest game yesterday against Washington. They committed a couple of errors, and they did come in that 6th inning, allowing Washington to take the lead at that point. But throughout most of that game, Czechia had done quite well in the field. And again, it's ruled a base hit on this one.
Travels a long way, obviously, to make that play. The ball's tailing away from her, which is the challenge there.
That ball kind of hung up for quite a while, too. Might be a question as to whether they can have a courtesy runner for Haley Mann at first. But the courtesy runner, that courtesy runner will be Olivia Rowland, who's the catcher. So they're just going to leave Mann out there on the base pass. Val Shaw, the batter. Of course, with courtesy runners, you can courtesy run for your pitcher or your catcher with 2 outs. Mann at first. You also saw Songer at third. Slap to second. Side retired.
Solid play. The second baseman gets that third out of the inning.
That ends a 2-run frame for the West Region champs. End of 1. 2-0 here in Kirkland. Kudos to the adults who are helping to run and stage this event, and that includes the umpires who are here on a volunteer basis. They've come from all different parts of the globe. One of them even came from right here in Kirkland, Washington. You're looking at our umpires for this one. Sam Fontecchio behind the plate. David Bice at first, Alex Ordanza at second, and John Ignacio is the crew chief. He's at third. There he is. There's Iggy.
It's impressive the officials coming on their own dime. Obviously, the Kirkland official is a little bit easier commute and housing, but his desire to be out here part of this great event, certainly not understated.
2-0. California with the lead over Czechia. Haley Mann starting off Lola Gajdashova with the strike. And inside here, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lola says if she won the lottery, she'd buy a big yacht. I'm told that having a boat is fine, but it's better to have a friend who has a boat.
Well, you don't have quite the responsibility, I guess, if you just have to worry about the friend taking care of the boat.
Bingo. Fouled off 2-2. Of course, we're here in the Pacific Northwest. We're in the Seattle metro area, the Puget Sound on one side of the city, Lake Washington on the other side of Seattle. So plenty of opportunities for yachting where we are right now. The 2-2. Smacked. Smothered. And got it there in time. Kate Brard hangs in there and makes a superb play.
Brard really does a great job. It's a well-hit ball up the middle. does a tremendous job just keeping that down, blocked in the infield. But with the quickness we can see here, she gets up quickly, makes a great throw over to Kenyon at first base in plenty of time.
Janeta Makowska. One ball and no strikes. Haley Mann in the circle. Snapping bunt. Brard has to eat the ball this time as Makowska speeds down to first.
Really effective job there. Kind of a push bunt, sneaky bunt, past the third baseman. No play at all at first base with her speed, adding to her already impressive batting average.
Here's Adela Dolejalova at the plate. Hit towards center. Bit of a ways for Songer to go, but she's able to get it to second. Get the out there.
Songer staying heads up. Obviously, runner has to hold at first base. Not sure if that ball is going to be caught. Doesn't give up on the play. The Songer does a great job of feeding the second base to get the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for Makowska to be in at first.
Not much you can do.
Yeah.
Ball's hit up in the air. Runner's obviously got a hold. Not sure if it's going to be caught. Songer sees that she's got an easy play at second base. Record that next out.
So Songer's on the spot, able to make the play. We will have a courtesy run come out for Dolejalova at first, and Makowska will get another crack at it. Courtesy running. Katka Liskovsova is the batter now. Nickname is Kathy. I'm thinking back to Czechia having second and third with one out, not being able to score. And California immediately dropping 2 runs on Czechia in the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, it was an interesting opportunity. They got down to their last out and then turned on the offense.
One and one. Makowska courtesy running at first. Tie 2-1. Prague in the Czech Republic, also known as Czechia, coming up on, I believe, 10 p.m. back there. If you're checking us out from halfway across the planet, we appreciate you staying up here with us on now a Thursday evening. Europe Africa region champs from the Czech Republic won the 2024 Junior League Softball World Series. They're from Prague, Little. It's right down the middle. Called strike 3.
Great pitch by Haley Mann.
And that retires the side. Haley Mann gets strikeout number 2 to end the top half of inning number 2. 2-0 California. Couple runs in the bottom of the first. The difference in this game so far as we head to the bottom of the second. Follow the amazing kids as they experience their own Little League World Series adventure. Download the Little League World Series app to watch highlights, photos, schedules, and more. Available in the app stores for Apple and Android devices.
So much to follow with all the different age brackets, both baseball and softball. And
happening now.
A lot happening right now. Obviously, back east, we've got Greenville, and certainly we're well entrenched here as we start the championship bracket.
Championship day on Saturday here in Kirkland. 8 teams in the bracket. Whittling it all down right now to get to the final 2. That will decide which one goes home with the trophy. Josie Kogel is the 8th batter in California's order. A lot happening. Little League baseball, softball, coast to coast. I'm hustling out of here after, Kirk, you and I get done with the semifinal tomorrow, and I got to head down to San Bernardino. Little League baseball regional action. Be fun.
That's going to be exciting. A little warm down there, a little warmer down there probably than up here.
Triple digits.
Kogel, called by her coaches as positive teammate, true competitor, brings her best, and lifts up her teammates. Gotta love that. She can play and she can support.
Twisted to short. The throw to first in time for the out.
Great hustle down the line. Scardova does a good job of staying with that slow roller.
Scardova getting the start at short today. It was Marketa Proshkova who made a fantastic play to end the game against Washington yesterday, sprawling and reaching and tapping the bag with her bare hand with the ball in it, of course.
It was an impressive play, Sports Center-esque, certainly, as she dove, fielded, and tagged the base all in one move. It's a great way to end a great game.
But Scardova playing well at short to start here in this game. Sam Wellington is down to the count 0-2. Sam's looking for her first base hit of the week.
Wellington's dream job is being an interior designer.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dolezhalova's first strikeout today.
We've seen some great moments out of Dolezhalova.
Is Gracie Wilson.
Wellington waves at that one, and Wilson comes to the plate. Gracie Wilson takes the first pitch strike. On the ground to short. Scardova again. 2 away.
Cannon of a throw across the field.
And that is the 3rd out of the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Top 3rd coming up. love when we do this. We're going split box here in Kirkland. We're on field 2, right side of your screen. Meanwhile, left side of your screen, they are also underway on field 1. That stadium is behind us with North Carolina, the top seed in Pool A. They've been terrifically impressive on their end of the bracket. Addison Louder, there she is, a fantastic pitcher. Squaring off against Canada, the young ladies from Repentigny, Quebec. So that is happening simultaneous to what we're doing here on field 2.
A lot happening here on championship, first day of championship play.
We've got 4 games overall today with 8 teams left in the bracket. Nicole Rihova swinging a strike 1 from Haley Mann.
Great pitch, Haley Mann. Oh.
And that pitch is upstairs. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Rihova. North Carolina, the Southeast Region champions versus Canada happening right now. Our other game on this field later today is an international region matchup. Puerto Rico out of the Latin America region versus the Philippines out of the Asia Pacific region. That'll be a lot of fun.
Gonna be a great game.
And the day concludes on field 1 between Pennsylvania out of the East, Michigan out of the Central. 2-2.
Haley Mann doing a good job getting to 2-2 here. Love to get the first out of the inning.
Fouled off. Good to see all 4 teams from the international regions make the final bracket. Europe, Africa represented in this game, Latin America, Asia Pacific, and Canada as well. Count stays at 2-2.
Rihova having a great tournament as well, hitting .429 on the week.
Tennis player. Waves at that one and whiffs. Strike 3.
Haley Mann really does a nice job taking that ball low and away out of the strike zone. Really no chance for Rihova to be able to make contact. Sweeps across the plate. It's really a great pitch.
Teresa Pishova at the plate now. Teresa is a big LA Dodgers fan.
Big Dodgers fan and favorite movie, Star Wars, which came out before she was born.
Multiple times over, I think. Tails outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pishova. Haley Mann with 3 strikeouts so far today. And 1 walk allowed. 2-1. Czech Republic took bronze at the 2020 Under-18 Softball World Cup. And they were the first Czech team to make the podium at a World Softball Championship. So Czechia making some noise recently on the international softball scene.
Pishova here, his dream job is to be a coach, wants to stay in the game and give back. And she's got some playing time ahead of her before she needs to be a coach, but I'm sure she's been inspired by her coaches.
Passed man off of Brard into center field for a base hit.
Solid hit up the middle, sneaking past 2 infielders. And makes a great effort here, but too quick to get by her and just out of the reach of a diving Brard.
Pishova at first. That is the 3rd base hit, by the way, for Czechia, which hasn't had problems getting runners on base. Binkova trying to add to it, or at the very least move her over. And now, caught between second and third. Scampering back. Safe.
Really good job of evading the tag there. They had her in that rundown. Really, her speed came into play there as she turned on the burners to get back into second base. She rounded second knowing there was nobody at third, but then hesitated when she got stuck here, but really too late for feed on that toss back to second base.
So Pashova still at second. We're at the bottom of the order. Alica Shkardova. No balls and one strike. Alica says that she can't promise that she'll hit a home run in every game, but she does promise that she'll always give her best and have a big smile on her face. Okay. I'm willing to accept that. 2-1. Gets the inside half. 2-2.
Haley Mann doing a good job here. Obviously, with runner's score position, she's going to try and attack this last hitter down here in the lineup.
Roll to Kenyon at first. She wins the race to the bag easily to retire the side. Once again, Czechia gets at least one on via base hit, but can't score. Another great day in Kirkland, Washington. Site of the Junior League Softball World Series, as it has been since 1999. The weather's great, it's hard to beat. And so far, the West Region champs from Palo, Cedro, California have been hard to beat. They're ahead 2-0 with the bottom of the third about to start. Adela Dolejalova has, by and large, pitched well. She's retired the last 4 batters she's faced.
She really has. She's gotten out of some situations and certainly thrown some really good pitches.
Bottom of the order, the 11 and 12 batters due up. Along at the top of the order, Kate Brard. We begin with Wesley Barry. Going outside for ball 1. Wesley's favorite subject is history. She wouldn't mind making history here. Dolejalova in the circle. With 1 strikeout, 1 walk so far. Has given up 3 hits. And it stays that way. Victorlova showing some range.
Really nice job there, tracking down that ball in left center field. It's a well-hit ball. Delova does a really good job of tracking it, keeping it on her radar. Didn't have to navigate too much of the sun, that angle.
Brings up Emma Saley. Pitch rides inside for ball one from Doležalova. Emma is a fan of UCLA softball. And former Bruin great Megan Grant. Do you know anything about either of those?
I know a lot about both of them, and two great things to follow and be a fan of.
Kirk Walker to my left, and on the mic, longtime assistant with the UCLA staff.
Fortunate to spend 24 years there at UCLA, split up 2 different stints, but great bunt.
Well handled by the Czechia infield. 2 away.
Even better play defensively. Megan Grant obviously just ending her collegiate career, short of the new 5-for-5 rule, and spent her first year in the AUSL.
Yeah.
Did a great job.
Something tells me she might be a mainstay in that league. Back to the top of the order, Kate Brard gets plunked on the foot. So Brard on base in both of her plate appearances so far. I get the feeling that overall, and look, there's still potentially a lot of ball to be played here, but Czechia has gotten better as the week has gone along, especially after that really rough Sunday, the first day of the tournament, in which they played 2 games and gave up 50 runs.
Absolutely. I think we've seen the best ball out of them. Certainly yesterday's game was indicative of that, and you know, I think playing against competition and higher level competition and in this kind of an environment, really, you can't help but get better if you're staying positive and ready to kind of keep evolving.
Riley hands an RBI single in the first. Hit to second. Makovska is up with it. And the throw to first is the 3rd out of the inning. California still with a 2-0 lead, but Czechia keeping the West Region champs in striking distance. A lot of love for Foothill Little League here in Kirkland, Washington. This squad is up 2-0. 3 innings of play. Foothill Little League from Palo, Cedro, California, Northern California, far Northern California, practically, 160 miles north of Sacramento. Top of the 4th, top of the order for Czechia. Rosaria Struskova grounded back to first, back in the first.
Palo Cedro, a population of 1,800. Got a handful of that 1,800 here supporting.
Fouled off to Kylie Kenyon, who has moved over to 3rd from first base. Josie Kogel has entered the game. Defensively, she's at first.
Kenyon, one of the youngest players on this team, but certainly used very readily in a lot of positions. Both corners, we've seen her, obviously in the circle. She's very capable of probably playing any position on the field. She's a really talented athlete.
2 balls and 1 strike. Mann issued just 1 walk and struck out 3 her first time through the order. And Josie Kogel into the game, handles that one easily. 1 away.
Ball seems to always find the defender that enters the game.
Never fails, does it?
Seems to always happen that way. If you're a defensive player entering your game, you always want to be ready because they're going to expect the ball's coming at you. So just the game keeping you on your toes. And nice pitch on the inner half.
Nella Viktorova, the batter. Ranging over at second. And making the grab. That's 2 gun.
A little bit of a communication there. Berard comes across and feeling like she still had a play on it. It's tough, obviously, when you are going after a fly ball and not looking down and around where your feet are or who's coming close to you. So it's communication is key. Verbal communication.
And the Saley now at second, as this one is smoked back up the middle.
Orbova does a great job driving that ball up the middle, adding to her already substantial batting average, 500.
Yeah, this was just a rope right back at Mann. So again, a base hit for Czechia, which had 2 on. Technically, actually second and third with 1 out in the first. But did not score. Mariana Dostalova about to face the 1-0. Opposite field. And runners at first and second. Czechia trying for a 2-out rally here.
Well hit ball, obviously the opposite field. Dostalova does a really nice job. It's great to see a hitter that tracks the ball deep on that outside part of the plate, drives it the opposite field. Saley obviously tries to makes a really good attempt, makes a good play, throw to 1 to try and force that runner get down the line, but not in time. It's a good piece of hitting from Dostalova.
Yep. Justin Haynes out of the dugout and into the circle. Says that this team is just all business. They just show up every day, they work hard, and they walk off the field. No fuss, no muss.
Go about your business professionally, even if you are a little leaguer. It's always great to see, and work ethic.
Raketa Brochkova flew out to left to end the first. Sends this one down the first base line in the air. Kogel the catch and retires the sign. Couple on for Czechia, but again, they remain stranded. California still up 2-0. Thursday afternoon, Field 2, Everest Park, Kirkland, Washington, 2-0. California, the West Region champs, leading Czechia, the Year of Africa region champions. Meanwhile, on the field behind us, field number 1, they're underway, Southeast versus Canada, and they're tied at 1, heading to the top of the second inning there.
Single elimination bracket, so winner go home, I guess, from the championship knockout bracket, as you call it.
Yeah. Kylie Kenyon at the plate. Kenyon flew out to left in the first.
Kenyon, a big hitter. 2 home runs in the tournament.
Here's that one foul, 1-1.
That ball she hit in the first inning actually had potential.
It did.
She hit a little bit high and got caught up a little bit in the wind, but took the left fielder right to the fence.
Yeah, wind was blowing in from left at that point. It appears to be a similar scenario here. The 1-1. This one's high in the air to right. Coming up and hanging on, making the grab in right field, Korbova.
Outfielder's doing a great job of really managing the height of that ball is challenging, not because it's high, but because it's coming down in a velocity that's much faster due to gravity. The farther it's going to fall, the faster it's going to pick up. So outfielders need to do a good job of being in the right position and be prepared for the ball coming down quicker.
Bree Songer, who walked in the first, is ahead in the count 1-0. Yeah, it's just simple physics. And again, physics killed me in college. That's why I talk for a living.
Probably of all the sciences, although there's a lot of math and statistics in the sport, the game of physics is probably as big as product of the baseball softball game as any other sport.
Not a bad old frame job by Struskova on that. Strike 1 pitch. Now it's 1-2 after the foul. Struskova helping out Dolizhalova. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit.
Rip to left field, 5-6 hole. Trying to get something going here with 1 out.
By the way, Bree Songer has been swinging a hot bat of late. 2 for 2 with 2 driven in against Canada. 3 for 3 with 2 driven in against Texas. And now officially 1 for 1 in this one. A walk. And now the single is Roland lashes that one foul.
Working on her 600 batting average actually overall in the tournament. 6th highest in the tournament. Might be making a move here with another hit here.
Liv at the plate. Liv Roland popped up to second in the first. And Roland's very much in the building. There they are. No balls, 2 strikes. That drops down. And that might go all the way to the track. Coming around third, Songer scores.
Great base running by Songer. They're rounding third hard and taking advantage when that ball gets all the way to the fence. It's a well-hit ball.
Living the dream indeed. 3-0.
Great job by Rulin. Taking this pitch to left field. Misplayed by the left fielder, who takes a bad hop. And Songer never breaks stride, just keeps running.
This one's popped up. Dolizhalova calls everyone off and makes the grab on the run. That's out number 2.
Great athletic move by Dolizhalova there. Can field her position as well as throw great pitches.
Boy, just an unfortunate series of events for the left fielder Nicole Rihova on that last sequence on Roland. called a hit and an error. Val Shaw, the batter. Val has numerous plate approaches, according to Justin Haynes, the West Region champ manager.
Brings a lot of skill sets. Obviously, her speed. She can drop a bunt. She can drive a ball. She can slap. A little bit of a slap there.
Here it results in a G4-3. Another run on the board thanks to a fielding error by Czechia. 3-0 California after 4. We have a 3-0 ball game. West Region champs leading the Year of Africa Region champions as we begin the 5th inning. Find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. Don't forget to use hashtag LLWS. For all the latest on Little League from coast to coast, hit the socials. You'll always find out what's happening there.
And when looking, don't forget we're the junior Little League. There's junior, senior, regular Little League. Lots of great brackets happening across the country.
No doubt. We have a new pitcher in the circle for California. Kylie Kenyon comes in after Haley Mann throws 4 shutout innings. Kenyon has kind of come on along the way in some respects as a closer, but boy, she was absolutely lights out against Pennsylvania, going the distance, a complete game 7-inning shutout, striking out 3 against Pennsylvania back on Monday. Meanwhile, we have a situation potentially happening on field 1 right now. Check that out, left side of your screen. Canada leading the Southeast region champs 4-1. That's in the top of the 2nd. North Carolina went 4-0 in pool play, and they're doing that against North Carolina's terrific ace pitcher, Addison Louder, who hadn't given up a run in her time in the circle this week until today.
She's really been dominant through a dominant game yesterday as well, so might be a little fatigued today, but Canada saying we can score.
Back in Quebec, they're saying, c'est génial. Lola Gaidashova grounded to short. A fantastic diving play by Kate Berard in the field. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kenyon threw 4 innings yesterday against Texas and struck out 7. So Kenyon has certainly put together a fantastic all-around portfolio so far this week. Count stays at 1-2.
Garjova here is the leading hitter for this Czechia team. Coming into the game, hitting .571, 7th best in the field of teams, field of players.
Off speed in front of it, Galyashova just makes contact.
Favorite show is Survivor, and she hopes to be a physiotherapist. It's her dream job.
All right, go get it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
One ball and 2 strikes. Kylie Kenyon. Swing and a miss. One away.
By Kenyon here, looks like she changes speeds a little bit. Really disrupts the hitters with that off speed, and that's a great job. Kenyon being very effective on that outside half of the plate. She almost an unhittable pitch.
Is the batter.
Kenyon just kind of spins it. It's a strike off the bat of Markovska. We should mention that Haley Mann, who threw the first 4 innings of the game, has now headed over to third base. So just a straight switch between Kenyon and Mann. No balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2.
Mann playing close there at third base, protecting him obviously with the speed. At Markovska.
Fouled off.
One of the things I like about this West team is the little things that they do well. Defensive moving and shifting based on the hitter, based on the pitches. A lot of the game on defense is actually being in the right position.
Off speed, waves at it. Throw the first for the putout. 2-gun.
Kenyon with her 2nd strikeout of the inning. Changing speeds is really, as I said, disrupts the hitters and can be really effective.
And Kenyon just pulling the string on Markovska. That brings up Dolejalova. We're doing 8-6 fielder's choice. You don't see that too often. That one is fouled off, rolls towards the California dugout. Let's take another look at that last strikeout from Kenyon.
Does a great job of changing speeds, drops off the table. Rulin does a nice job of staying with that and taking care of the drop 3rd strike.
Well, you mentioned the little things that Foothill Little League has done right defensively. They've done a lot of little things really in all phases of the game, and that's a big reason why they were able to win the first 2 games here by scores of 3-1 and 2-0.
Yeah, great pitch there on the inside. Absolutely. I think, you know, that their experience last year obviously coming up short in the win column, but a lot of these players coming back with experience, and I think coaches coming back with experience and doing a lot of the little things that I think make a difference.
Not in time.
Great hustle down the line. Value of being on that left side. A little bit close to first base, but she has great speed. Second baseman does a nice job of getting that ball, but has to get rid of it quick. Dosalova, a great hitter as well as a defender. We've seen her do a lot of things, absolutely defensively, her speed, offense.
Saley did the best she could. Meanwhile, Dolejalova is going to be courtesy run for, as the first pitch to Liskovska is in there for a called strike 1. We should note, Czechia has stranded 6 runners on base so far today. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Liskovska struck out the 2nd. Count goes to 1-2. Kaka proud of making the last out in both the Czech national finals and the regional finals.
Runner goes.
And the throw skips into second field, backed up by Sung. Makovska courtesy running safe at second.
As you mentioned, Czechia has definitely had runners on. I think they've had a problem putting the runners across the plate, obviously, and some timely hitting. Coming up with a hit here would be perfect timely opportunity to get a run on the board.
Yeah, second and third, one out in the first inning, did not score. That would have been a fantastic chance to set the tone. An opportunity slipping by the wayside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They've left runners on base every inning.
And may again here. They do.
Haley Mann, nice play across the diamond.
7 stranded by Czechia. We're through 4.5 innings. 3-0 California. We are keeping an eye on what's happening on field 1. That's on the left side of your screen between Canada and North Carolina. Southeast region champs kind of steamrolled through pool play, went a perfect 4-0, but in a bit of trouble here with Canada ahead 4-1 that game in the 3rd inning. And as of right now, Canada perhaps proving that games, they don't play games on paper, they play them on TV.
Pool play is one thing, but once you get to that championship at single elimination bracket, it all comes down to that moment in time. Records are irrelevant.
Doležalova still in the circle for Czechia. And Josie Kogel fouls off the first pitch that she sees. Kogel grounded out to short in the second. That one misses down low. 1-1. I remember being here in 2022, and the West Region champs that year came from Las Vegas, and they just steamrolled through everyone in pool play. Looked like far and away the best team. Won their quarterfinal matchup, and then they bumped into Jenison, Michigan, the Central Region champs, and Michigan beat them in 9 innings, if my memory serves me correctly. We were all shocked and stunned, and it's part and parcel of what can happen once you hit the knockout stage. This potentially could be a knockout punch, as that is out of here. Josie Kogel goes deep.
Kogel just turns on this pitch. Super excited. She's one of the team leaders on the team and really positive player, and I think her teammates are super excited for, obviously, not just to put a run on the board, but for her own success, obviously putting a home run over the fence. It's a great moment, great opportunity.
Boy, and this ball
just blast this
right
ball.
on carrying. Yes, indeed.
Well hit ball. It's actually into the wind. And it's a no-doubter.
When Josie collects souvenir stickers from places that she visits, she might want to collect that ball back. I think Broccoli Guy has it right now. A Seattle sports event legend. He runs around here. He's been here all week. He walks around with Broccoli.
Yep, Broccoli Guy retrieves that home run ball for Josie and her family. Josie's also voted by her team as one of the best dancers and biggest personalities.
So the West dugout fired up. Meanwhile, Czechia trying to settle things down a bit.
She hit her first home run in districts, and that was her highlight that she talked about. I'm sure this one will now be a highlight here, hitting one in the World Series.
Swing and a miss by Sam Wellington, who struck out in the second. No balls and one strike.
Wellington's role model, she talked about this earlier, is her brother Ethan. Because he does all the right things in her mind, and also he's taught her a lot of life skills, changing a tire, and a lot of life skills she really appreciates and looks up to him. It's a cool opportunity to shout out to her brother.
Yeah, if I need a tire change, I'm calling someone. Heck, I might call Ethan. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Probably can call Sam. She sounds like she knows what she's doing too.
Got it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Pilozova comes back obviously after that home run and gets a big strikeout. I think she's a competitor. Obviously raised the bar a little bit here following up that home run. No pitcher likes to give up a home run.
Yeah, and that shot by Kogel, she starts Gracie Wilson off with a ball. That shot by Kogel, perhaps maybe the only major mistake that Doležal has made so far today.
Yeah, really, it's been a great game for her. She's had key moments where she's come up with some big strikeouts and gotten some good ground balls.
That being said, this is still a California squad that you don't want to mess with because they can certainly put up runs quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Well, Doležal has done a bulk load of the pitching, obviously, for this Czechia team. And we know this Czechia team can score, but we've seen them score late in the game in several of the games. Certainly yesterday, came from behind, and so 4 runs is not out of the question for them, but they've got to keep it close here, I think, to really have a shot at this.
Yeah, got to keep it at 4 by this point if you're Czechia. After the 4-pitch walk, Wesley Berry to the plate, flew out to center in the 3rd. Sharply to short, too sharp. And everybody's safe.
It's a tough hop right there. This shortstop in good position. Looked like it could have been for sure out at second base on a lead runner and possibly a double play, and ends up taking one off the shoulder.
Skardova's going to get a quick look at after the single by Berry. Here's another look.
Sharply hit ground ball, but pretty routine right at her. That 3rd hop kicks up and
ouch,
hits her solidly on that shoulder.
Might leave a mark, but she's okay to stay in.
She's probably more disappointed in not getting the out than the pain that she's feeling in the shoulder.
So 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Emma Saley at the plate. Now heading to 3rd.
Heads-up play there. Good base running. Takes advantage of the throw behind. That's one of the challenging things when you throw behind a lead runner. That lead runner is savvy and aggressive, can often take a base, which is what we saw.
So first and third for Saley now. The bunt in the air.
Looked like a safety squeeze being put on. Emma Saley voted by her teammates best hair. Pretty overwhelmingly.
Not going to argue. One ball, two strikes. To Skardova again. Flip to second for one. They get the out there. Wilson scores 5-0.
Good job for Skardova there. I think, really staying strong and resilient. Makes a solid play, gets that lead runner. She'd hoped to do that on the last play. The ground had a different story.
Back to the top of the order we go. Kate Brard singled in the first, hit by a pitch in the third. And Barry in at second.
Barry with a great jump, straight steal. And really gets herself into scoring position on her own.
That was actually Saley who was off and running from first.
Saley.
Hit to right, adjusts, and makes the catch out there to retire the side. 5-0 California. They've just been chipping away at Czechia for much of the day, but finally they reach back and deal a big blow. Josie Kogel goes deep. 5-0 California after 5. We were first to get underway in bracket play here in Kirkland, Washington, Junior League Softball World Series. First of 4 games, with the second game happening concurrently between Canada and North Carolina as well. 2 more games coming up later on today. We'll be keeping an eye on Puerto Rico versus the Philippines. That'll be our second game on field 2. Final game of the day, Michigan versus Pennsylvania, Central versus East. Trying to figure out who's going to win this thing. 8 teams in the bracket. Only one will win the trophy.
We'll cut that in half today, obviously, with these games.
Yep.
We'll end up the day with 4 winners, 2 on each side.
Allie Kenyon ahead quickly in the count, 0-2 to Nicole Rihova.
Rihova moves up in the box, I think, trying to adjust for that off-speed pitch.
Meanwhile, Olivia Rowland set up way outside.
Can't say enough about Rowland, obviously, as an athlete, and she's caught all these games and done a great job.
Off the fist, right to Brard, who's done well on the field today.
Brard battling that sun. She's got her sunglasses on, battles that sun, does a nice job. One thing about the sun is that it's not moving quickly, so if the ball goes in, it's going to eventually come out at some point. Talking about Rulin, Rulin is was voted by her team to be overwhelming, team and coaches both, to be the next future president on their team. Obviously does a great job as a quarterback behind the plate and managing the pitching staff.
Teresa Pichova swings and misses. Teresa with the single and the third. Czechia has stranded 7 base runners so far. They've gotten base hits in every inning to this point. The 0-2. How about that funky pitch by Kenyon? Strike 3.
Great movement on that pitch, falling off the table. Kenyon just doing a great job, actually really getting a lot of Ks from this Czechia team that can definitely hit.
Yeah, this is her 3rd one in 1.2 innings of work now. Another look. Františka Binkova right back to Kenyon. And very quickly, Czechia goes down in order. Bottom 6th coming up from Kirkland in a moment. We're going to go global with our second game on Field 2 today. We'll have Puerto Rico versus the Philippines. Those are the Asia Pacific region champions. Over the batting cages off to our right. Meanwhile, Field 3 off to our left. There's Latin America region champion Puerto Rico. Everyone getting ready for what's going to be a very, very intriguing contest between 2 fun teams to watch.
They've both been really dynamic and fun to see all different aspects of the game, pitching, hitting, defense, base running. All been really engaged and really exciting to watch. I think that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, the winner of that game will face the winner of this game between California and Czechia. Top of the order, Kate Brard. Nope, check that. Second batter is Riley Haynes. Kate Brard flew out to right to end the 5th. Haynes with an RBI single in the 1st inning. Jalova still in the circle for Czechia. Pitch upstairs and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Faith Tamba is certainly going to be a name to watch for the Philippines. He's such an incredible, endurable pitcher. The 1-1 inside 2.
Ball gets away from Joseph Valova. Haynes does a good job of avoiding that. caught off guard sometimes when a ball heads behind you as a batter. It happens. That ball's going to maybe come back fair.
Nope.
A lot of spin, a lot of English on that ball.
Liskovsova is now at first for Czechia. Yeah, if you like pitching, I strongly encourage you to check out Philippines, Puerto Rico with us later today. Dave Thomas struck out 17 Texas batters the other day. Hard shot to third. And the rip across the diamond for the out.
Really nice, well played, sharp ball, and she did a great job of staying down. And as we've seen from her this whole tournament, great arm. Brings up Kenyon. 2 outs.
Lola Gaidashova at third.
Oh, with 1 out, my bad.
High to left field. Coming down to Rihova, hangs on.
It's a third ball today that Kenyon has hit incredibly well, but incredibly high. I think with a small adjustment there, she's putting that ball a little bit flatter and more squared up.
Yeah, it's just a simple case of getting under him.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think, she's made solid contact, but just under the ball. Resulted in 3 outs, 3 big, meaning well hit and well high outs.
Bree Songer singled and scored on an error in the 4th inning. Bottom 6th, California ahead 5-0. It's been ahead since plating 2 in the bottom of the 1st. That one's roped and gets down for a base hit. Bree Songer, 2 for 2 on Tuesday, 3 for 3 yesterday, and 2 for 2 with the walk so far today.
Songer just continues to get it done. She already has one of the top 10 batting averages in the tournament. Probably going to be in the top 5 with another really great day today.
Songer now 7. The last 7. High to center. Vichdalova ranges over and makes the catch. That's the 3rd out of the inning. And that is the 6th inning of the game. Comes down to this for Czechia. California trying to get to advance. Czechia down to its final 3 outs in this game. We hit the top of the 7th inning. California with a 5-0 lead. The biggest blow by the West Region champs struck in the 5th inning. Josie Kogel putting California up 4 at this point.
Just turns on that high pitch and drives it out of the park for her second home run of the year. Her first home run that she was super excited about was in the districts, and this home run is one she will be remembering for a long time.
It might be the most important sequence of the game to this point. Kylie Kenyon trying to be the closer. She has on several occasions already this week. Alitza Shkardova is the batter, and she'll be facing a 1-1 count. Czechia hoping for 7th inning magic in back-to-back days. It was down 5-3 heading into the top of the 7th yesterday against Washington. Scored 4 and got the win. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kenyon's been really effective here today since she's come in. I think mixing of speeds, mixing of different zones. She kind of has a sneaky delivery that comes around the backside.
Just a touch high, 2-2.
Shkardova doing anything she can, obviously, here to get on base, give her team a chance. They'll need runners on, and they'll need to capitalize.
Tries the off-speed, and Shkardova just gets a tiny piece of it.
Kenyon leaves that up a little bit, allows Shkardova to foul it off. 2-2 count here. Obviously, Kenyon needs to continue to go right at her.
Got her. 1 away.
Good pitch up in the zone. Kenyon throws what I would say a heavy ball. Got deceiving velocity on it. She's a strong athlete. She's at the top of the order.
8 batters faced, 4 strikeouts for Kenyon. Top of the order, Rosaria Straskova. A couple of ground outs. And could be another ground out. It is G6-3. Czechia down to its last out.
Are just so consistent out there at shortstop. I think probably one of the strongest defensive players, I think, in the tournament that we've seen.
Defense, pitching, as Kenyon has allowed just an infield single since coming into the circle. Now it comes down to Neva Vichdalova. And Neva waits on that one, takes it down low for ball 1. Look, as rough as it started for Czechia this week, losing 23-8, then 27-15. I think the way they've played the last 2 games, they certainly have some things to be proud of when they hop on the plane and head back to Prague in a few days.
Absolutely. I think the amount of experience and how much they've grown and competed. I mean, that game alone yesterday would have been something to put your feather in your cap.
2-1.
I think these athletes are only going to leave this Little League World Series with a lot of great experience and opportunity to take their game to the next level. That's the greatest thing about this, is being challenged.
Roller to Barry, up with it, fires to first in time for the out, and that's your ball game. The West is best in this game as Foothill Little League advances to the semifinals with an efficient 5-0 win over the Europe-Africa region champions from Czechia. Started early with 2 in the first for California. They just kept right on chipping away. A big blast by Josie Kogel, the solo home run to begin the 5th inning. And it was pretty much easy street from there for the young ladies from Palo, Cedro, California. 5-0 our final in this one. That means California will await the winner between the Asia-Pacific region champions from the Philippines and the Latin America region champions from Puerto Rico. Fun game. Good way to start here as we have our bracket play here, Kirk, and I think high-level stuff all the way around.
You know, it's great effort here by Czechia. I think really something to be proud of. I think there's some great athletes on that team that are going to be excited about getting back on the field again in their next opportunity. They'll play a friendly game here before they leave, and Lots to be proud of.
But it's California moving on. It will play tomorrow in the semifinals. That puts the wraps on our first game here from Field 2. We'll see it back here at about 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. It's when we're scheduled to get things going between Puerto Rico and the Philippines. Who advances to face these young ladies? We'll find out together. On behalf of our marvelous ESPN Plus crew from coast to coast and my broadcast partner, Kirk Walker, I'm Troy Clarity. Thank you for joining us. California love! The West Champs advance with a 5-0 win over Czechia.